Hey, KOSS. 70s called. They want their headphone back. What's cracking, everyone? My name is Ryan, and today I'm going to be covering my impressions of the KOSS Pro 4AA. Now, before I get into this video, I want to remind everyone that personally, I'm a big fan of KOSS and the products they put out. Things like the KPH40, the KOSS Porta Pros, even the KSC75s are all excellent products from KOSS. They are a budget champion in the audio space, in my opinion. This one, however, well, so quick backstory here. The KOSS Pro 4AA was first launched back in 1970 as a dynamic driver headphone said to have superior audio fidelity and noise isolation. Then it was retired later in the 1800s. Yeah, they launched it in the 70s and they retired it 100 years before that. And then it was actually brought back by popular demand, and I really, honestly, truly don't know why. Well, I do have some thoughts on that, but let's get into this first. So the Pro 4AA retails in at about $100. They can typically be found in the high 80s to 90s. They are built like a tank. I mean, seriously, when I put these on my head, I feel like I'm wearing a weapon on my head. They are 250 ohms and they are 95 dB SPL per milliwatt, which basically means that a good proper headphone amplifier should benefit these. Or honestly, just take them and plug them into a car battery and see what you get. No, okay. Don't do that. Please don't. So the construction of this is solid metal with a pretty heavy plastic on the cups, weighs about 620 grams, and you feel every bit of that 620 grams when you're wearing it. Now, the headband is that solid type plastic material. The headband padding is like a heavy foam rubbery type material. And then the cups, or not the cups, excuse me, the headphone pads are also a rubbery type material, and they compress really easy when you wear them on your head and almost feel like that feeling you get of a flat tire. And then when I do have them on my head, because it's so thin there as well, my ears do touch the inside and touch the inside of the driver while I'm wearing them. Now, this is not a comfortable headphone at all. In fact, big head and big ear types alike, you should really be afraid. Be very afraid. Now, lastly, the cable is attached and it's a coil type cable. It's a heavy cable with a heavy headphone. I mean, even the cable weighed somewhere around 60 grams, and it does terminate to a 6 1/4 SE typical connector there. And on the cups here, this is actually a screw mount that you can mount a mic boom arm to this. That was something they used for broadcasting back in the 70s. I don't know if you can still find that. I'm sure you can, but there you go. All right, so I'm going to quickly cover my sound impressions next and let you guys know first that bass-wise, these don't extend very low. They don't have a lot of bass presence, in fact. And I think a lot of this is due to the fact that, as I said, when you put them on, they kind of compress because they clamp so tight that it loses a lot of that resonating feature you might get bass from a typical closed-back headphone. It's just not there with these. And then moving into the mid-range, this is probably the one positive I'll say about this headphone is the mid-range here is pretty decent. It reminds me a lot of the tuning of the KOSS Porta Pro in a way. It is pushed back, so it's not going to be anything that's like mid-forward. And that kind of carries into the treble region as well, and that the treble region's a little bit more of a warmer tuning. Doesn't have a lot of airiness to that. It definitely doesn't have a lot of space to it as well. And I hate to say it, but just the fact that it clamps and it's so uncomfortable on my head, it's really hard to concentrate on music. You're just thinking about how this is squeezing your head. At least for me, that's the feeling I got. And so sound impression wise, that's kind of where I'm lying with this one. So to kind of expand further on that, I'll say that these don't expand further. So the sound is kind of a ear to ear type sound. So you really kind of get that tunnel vision type sound out of this. And so with vocalists and things like that, they don't really resonate very well with me. I tried a couple of vocalist tracks on this and just wasn't very impressed. And as I said, I'm just constantly reminded of how heavy and clampy it is on my head that it's hard to concentrate in that part of the sound anyway, and just was not a pleasant experience to listen to. So really, that's kind of about it. If you couldn't tell already, this is a hard pass for me. Now, on the bright side of things, I would say these were first launched in 1970. So think about 1970. We didn't have the audio technology advancements that we have today. We're not spoiled with all the different audio gear that we have today. So in the 70s, I can imagine this was something that was excellent and was a step forward in audio fidelity. So I can't fault KOSS for that. What I can fault for is the fact that everybody wanted these brought back, which my opinion on this is the nostalgia feeling of this is the reason they were brought back. I mean, this makes a great conversation piece. If you had this sitting in the background of a video like this or just sitting in a room, somebody might say, hey, what's that over there? Okay, you get some conversation out of it, but as soon as you put it on your head, it's just like, what just happened? And so, yeah, that's kind of how I feel about the KOSS Pro 4AA. And so for me, if I was going to purchase a KOSS Pro anything, I am going to show you a KOSS Pro that I would purchase. And that is the KOSS Pro 4S. Now, I'm not going to cover a review of this, but this is a much better sounding headphone. Obviously, it's updated technology. I would assume it's supposed to be in the same product line of this, being a studio headphone. Definitely would recommend this one. It's about the same price. This is what you want to get if you're going for a KOSS Pro anything. All right, so yeah, short, quick video on the KOSS Pro 4AA. I do appreciate if you'd subscribe to the channel, smash the like button if you like this video, or smash that dislike button if you're from the 70s and think I'm full of shit. So, with that, I will see you in the next one.